Flippers up, the game is on. Let's chase that high score till the dawn. Pinball fun with Greg and Bart. A perfect place for where fun starts. Pinball fun with Greg and Bart. It's more than just a work of art. Pinball fun with Greg and Bart. Pinball fun with Greg and Bart.
Hey.
You know what it is? Do you know what it is?
What is it?
It's Pinball Fun with Greg and Bart.
Oh. Nice. How you doing, Greg?
I am doing fantastic. Double deluxe fantastic.
Excellent. Excellent.
And I got my cheap $4, as we were doing the introduction, I finally got my cheap $4 webcam I got off some auction thing online. Actually working.
Nice.
Tonight on our show because I'd have to change a bunch of stuff. But on my other screen over here, I can actually. God, I didn't realize I'm that ugly.
Oh, should we run through the chat real quick?
Real quick first. Then let's talk hats. Let's say here. Look at here. We got our somebody told me they're driving caps.
Oh,
that's what they call. One guy told me.
Maybe.
And then you've got your hat on, then you've got a Poe and off-grid shirt on.
The hanging out shirt.
I'm representing Digital Victory.
Nice. Go. That is a nice shirt. Let's go.
Now you're free to go with all the chat you want to talk about there, buddy.
All right. I put these up during the opening, but look who was first.
Deep Parker's Arcade?
Yeah, and then look who was second. I don't know where these guys even came from. But third is where it's at. Megan's here. Hello, Megan. Good to see you. Followed shortly thereafter by Hollywood Polo. Good to see you, Polo. Always good to see Polo. Polo asked about Megan's day. Well, she took the dogs out around 4 a.m. and slept till around 1. They got up and took them out again. Nice. Exciting day. Polo went to a new Mexican restaurant in Marshall, Minnesota, had the best ground beef burrito with rice and beans, and then grocery shopping. Nice.
Yeah, I'm missing that. I gotta get caught up here on the chat screen. I guess, like I said, I don't like my screen. But anyway, where do you say you found that? Where do you say you found it at? Where was he at?
He was at a Mexican restaurant in Marshall, Minnesota.
Marshall, Minnesota. For a minute, I thought when you said Marshall, and then Minnesota, I thought he said Marshall, Missouri, because there is a Marshall, Missouri. What's he doing?
Peter Cullen passed away also, huh? Did the voice of Optimus Prime as well as other stuff. Wow. Man, people are... this has been a rough week. Of course, everyone knows Dolly Parton died. Oh, my gosh.
Tim Curry?
Tim Curry. I hate that when you start a sentence and you forget the person's name by the time you get to it. And then
I knew where you were going, and I thought, okay, I'll help him out here.
Yeah. And then the one guy in ZZ Top that didn't have the big beard, but he had it in his name, Frank Beard, the drummer for ZZ Top, he died this week also. Now, Mr. Cullen here died. Peter, yeah, there's only one ZZ Top left. And was it the end of last week, that girl that Hayden Pinnerhead or whatever, she was on that show Heroes? She died suddenly too.
Yes.
Yeah. Famous or Crispy is lip reading. He's at the in-laws. Hello, Chris. Hey, Retro Bliss Gaming is here. Good to see you, Phil. Phil was on the show with me and Poe on Sunday night. It was awesome to hang out with him. Greg, you'll appreciate, we did a little reminiscing in the green room about the good old days. But, Phil was one of the people we've known the longest, and talked about some people who shall not be named.
Yeah.
Let's see. Mike's Gaming Gala is here. Hey, Mike, how's it going? Thanks for coming in. Mike is an awesome guy. He doesn't even play pinball much, and he doesn't play digital pinball at all, but he comes in and supports the show. That is awesome. People are saying hi. Derek is here. This is
Pixertorium.
Oh shoot! Thanks, Derek. I'll fix that. This is one of the few shows in the last 3 weeks that Derek hasn't been on. Derek is all over the place.
Yeah.
Mr. Poestyle Ping Pong Fun.
Ping pong. Ping pong. Is it ping pong?
Yeah.
What the
I think that's a reference to Mrs. Poestyle.
I sent a message. I forgot to tell you about this in the green room. I sent a message today to Lars over in, I forget what country they're in, but the guy with Zen Studios, the janitor, trying to come on tonight, but I didn't get an answer back. So we're going to have to get Lars on here. Lars is going to come join us. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, a long time ago on my channel, I tried to get Zen Studios to come on and talk about their games. And of course, it's nighttime over there when it's daytime here. And the only people I could get a hold of was the cleaning crew. And I got ahead of the head janitor for Zen Studios. He was great. Came in, told me all kinds of stuff. Told me about the bathrooms at he said the executives at Zen Studios got some stinky poo-poo.
Oh, let's see. Salvatore is here. Hello, Salvatore. Everyone's saying hi. And all right, I think we're caught up. How's that punch card, Derek? Derek's got a punch card for all the shows he's been on. He was even on with Mike and Brian from BD Retro Mods on their Retro Rewind Tuesday night. Talking about Super Nintendo stuff. So anyway, all right, Derek, I fixed the remake. My typo. Derek points out typos. That's okay. I'm glad he did. But we'll talk about that while it's scrolling by here. Of course, this is the topical one for right now, Dolly Parton. Derek did a build of the VPX table. If you got his free build, he did put it on there. But this Tropical 2019, that's how it's listed in @Games. And if you're playing on Zaccaria Pinball, it'll be the remake. Tropical Remake. If you're playing Zaccaria. And then, of course, here comes Black Rose, which is available pretty much anywhere you can play Pinball FX. And I think it's on FX3 and stuff like that, which is now Pinball Classic. So you can play Black Rose all over the place.
Well, you can play it on VPX.
Yes, you can play it on VPX also.
Yeah, I found it on, I was doing, when, Bart and I typically try to give each other the games the night before. I try to build that iScore thing, and I just thought, what was a VPX table for that? And I found it, and it plays exactly. Well, matter of fact, Derek, answer this question. Wait a second. Wasn't it in one of the packs you already built in Discord? I don't know. Let us know, Derek. I think it was, because it was funny. I went to look for it, and I think it was already on my system, because everyone Derek put out, I put on my system.
Poe is pointing out that the Dolly Parton table is the table with the big bumpers.
Yes. Big bumper.
Crypto says the only thing more fun than playing pinball is playing pinball while he's playing with Poe's mom.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Hey, Bears fan Goomba is here. Good to see you, Bears fan. We're good to start now. Bears fan is here. We can get the show started.
There we go.
Yeah, and we're not getting a huge turnout yet on the VPX. There were a couple, there were only, I think, 4 of us that played. So hopefully people will start getting in on it. Like I said, Dolly Parton. That's a fun table. It's an old ding ding table. There are 2 versions though. You can get the version that has her music playing. I just got the standard ding ding table version.
I did the. I played the one with the ding ding table. I think that's the one that. Oh, yeah. I don't think I put it on YouTube. I think I put it on. I forget where I put it because I was wanting to wait till tonight's show before I put that out. So I'm pretty sure I put it on. But I got a not a copyright strike, but I got a scolding.
Yeah.
For using the one with the music in it, which I can't help it but to tell how I feel. I know everybody thinks I'm a grouchy old bastard, but I am. It says, the lady died, so there's millions of people out there wanting to pay tribute to her. So I put together a video playing her pinball machine, and now Sony Music Company wants their 8 cents. Because the most I make off one of those videos is like, 5 or 6 cents, and they say they'll let me have a cut of it. But if I make 5 cents, that means they're probably taking 4 of it.
And for anyone that's thinking that perhaps Poe's joke here is in poor taste with Dolly Parton dying this week, I think Dolly Parton herself would be the first one to laugh at that joke.
Yeah.
She always had a great sense of humor about her bodily proportions. And, I remember seeing an interview years ago. She'd wear those wigs and stuff and have her hair and makeup done, and people would say, "Why you wear your hair like that? You look like a hooker." And she said, "Because that's what I'm trying to look like." She was modeling herself after some hookers that she knew when she was younger, and they were dressed up fancy, and that's how she would model herself. So,
if you watch her movies, I forget it. I think it might be Code of Many Colors. There is a woman that comes into her life, and of course she's playing. It's a young girl, it's young Dolly. And Dolly plays this dressed up woman that comes by and sees Dolly and encourages her. But the family says you shouldn't be with that charlatan. Of course, it's being played by Dolly. But everybody's calling her a whore. But my funniest line I saw on her the other day, somebody asked her, "How long does it take you, or the people that work for you, to get your hair done that well?" She goes, "I don't know. I'm not there." Because she confessed in that video. She says, "I'm not blonde, and that never has been my hair." She says, "Before I go on, they have a wig already done up for me. And if you look at her eyebrows and her eyelashes, she's a brunette."
Right? Yeah. Hey, Casey's here. Better late than never. That's cool. Glad you made it. Yeah.
Now, Tim Curry, since we're talking about the people that passed, I'll tell you what, you can call me a weirdo if you want, but it's a cult classic, Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Right.
I loved him in that. Then he also played in Home Alone. He was the concierge at I think it was Trump Hotel in New York, where they filmed that. Matter of fact, I think Trump might have been in that movie, made a cameo. But then, what else? And then he was also, my wife and I used to be really big watchers of Criminal Minds. And one time he played a real sicko serial killer. Did a good job at it. So
yeah.
I don't know. I've always liked Tim Curry. I thought he's kind of a little strange.
He was in Clue. Did you say that one? Clue?
No, I didn't, and that's right. I forgot about it.
And he was also the doctor in the Hunt for Red October, which is one of my favorite films of all time.
That is a great movie. Sean Connery?
Yep.
Yes. Fantastic. Fantastic ending. Oh, my God. I thought I got something to, since we're talking about TVs and movies, we'll make it brief, but, I got a chance to get Apple TV for free with my cell carrier for 6 months. And I thought, I'm not paying for any of that TV stuff, but I took the 6 months, and man, they've got a series on there that, there's so many series on these streaming services, but they've got one called Silo that I've gotten addicted to. There's 3 seasons out of it, and it's about these people that have been living for The whole civilization's been living for hundreds of years underground in a silo, in an old missile silo. And it's just sci-fi.
Yeah. Derek sent this before we get too far away from the.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. There you go.
Interesting. But yeah, I think I've heard of that show, Silo.
Pinball related. Last time we left off, you and I did not get our Urban Firefighter game, which was supposed to get last Thursday, and it was I getting ready to go to bed at 10 o'clock Central Time, the only time there is. And I just decided to check my phone one last time, and there was the email with the code. And I knew it was a different code because I typed it in so many times when they sent me. But I couldn't do anything. I went to bed, and I got up the next morning, fired up the micro pinball, and new code was in the locker. Hit the button, fired it right up. Game plays great, and it is a good pinball table.
Yep. Yeah. And I was in bed when you sent a message, I think, saying that you got. No, I guess you sent it later. Was it the next day? So I checked it.
I sent it the next morning because I knew that on Thursday night you worked Friday morning. And I said, I'm not texting him at 10 o'clock at night on a Thursday night and have him say, that's something bitch.
Yeah. And my code was waiting for me. And like you said, it was already ready to go. I just had to click the install button to download the actual table and then play it. And which brings up an interesting topic. There are people out there that are complaining that the table's too easy. And RTX Pinball, he had his live stream last night, which I didn't get to watch, but I was watching today. And I left him a comment about it. And a table being too easy is a very subjective thing. Table that I think is easy, you might think is really hard, and vice versa. And other than, we have some people that play pinball pretty good in here. Jabba's really good at pinball. Polo has some really good games. Crispy will throw some really good games in there. But, some of these guys, they scored in the billions on that Firefighter Urban on the first or second day. It's like I told RTX on a comment under his, I said, it's very subjective. I said, and they were saying it was too easy because of that fact that some of those guys in the top 10 leaderboard are in the billions. I think the top score is in 10.5. It's like, I'm never going to get a billion points on that table. It's like, so it's all subjective. And I was telling Kelly, one thing that frustrates me is the guys that write the codes. They'll listen to these guys, the bigger players, because they play all the time or whatever, and some of them have YouTube channels, and they'll take their advice and remove things that, like I think it was the police squad one. They took out the center post because people were saying, the last couple of games were too easy. Take out that center post. I like those center posts in there. I need that thing.
That center post can screw you too.
It can.
There's a logical approach to that, and the logic to me is don't get flipper happy, because if you see that ball draining and you think, oh, maybe I can catch a portion of it with my flipper, because you can sometimes catch a little portion of it, but if you flip and it hits that thing, it'll bounce the ball underneath your flipper. So you got to maintain a certain amount of self-control.
Right. And one thing I suggested when I sent my message to him, and I suggested it, and then they got to talking about it anyway. With these digital pinball tables, why don't they just make a couple of versions where you, like they do classic, or, you can play Zen tables in classic mode or arcade mode. Mm-hmm. Have one physically changes the table. Have one that has the center post, maybe make the out lanes a little more forgiving so they're not open as far, maybe the ramp entrances are a little different, so it's easier to hit the ramps for novice players might want to. But to make tables harder because the best players want a challenge, boy, you're really leaving out a lot of people. Because average players like myself, and we see it in the chat and stuff when we pick the older ding ding tables, the really old retro tables. Those things are hard, and sometimes you launch the ball and it just drains, and a lot of people don't like that, and they don't go back to it if it's too hard. These guys that are complaining about Urban because they play. One guy said he played for a 6-hour game. It's like, well, okay, maybe that's not the table for you then, but you can't cut out everyone. You'll never have people buy your tables if everyone's like, yeah, these are too hard. I can't play any of these.
If every table was like fishtails, I wouldn't buy any tables. I'd get out of this hobby.
Right.
Find something else to do.
Drain tails
sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't want to hijack his topic, talking about easy versus hard, but I don't know what. Maybe people in the chat say, what would you think of that though? If there were different versions that you could play it with or without the center post, or with some, not just a physics change, but an actual change to the table by selecting the easier mode or the harder mode.
Let me ask you something, because I'm not saying I don't agree with your premise, but then I can also say it'd just be just as easy for you to just, every table's different, pick the ones that are more challenging for you.
Right.
I mean, because, well, let's look at it this way. Is Zachariah kind of doing that anyway? I mean, they've got one table, but they've made a retro, a deluxe, this and that. I mean, it's kind of sort of doing the same thing, isn't it? I mean, let's face it, if you play one of those retro tables compared to a deluxe table, same name, you're playing the retro, the ding ding one. I mean, they got little bitty flippers and they got all kinds of little holes that all the escape. So there is that aspect's already built into the studio. I'm not saying it's not a good. Our ad games could do that. It'd be easy.
Yeah. I was thinking of. Well, I was also thinking of not making it to where you got to buy 4 different versions. Just have it in a selection, and you could always have separate leaderboards too. Obviously, you don't want someone playing on the easy mode and they get in the scoreboard with the people playing in the hard mode. Hey, there's Jabba.
Yeah, you're 100% right on that. I know it frustrates me. It frustrated me even more when we got our table late. Because, I enjoy getting it. If me being retired, I can typically get it first comes out. And I can at least get in the top 50. But, all you got to do is wait 3 or 4 hours and, there's no way I'm going to be there.
Right. Yeah. And I guess the reason I was saying about having the change in the table by doing different settings, they also wouldn't have to pick a side and either make it impossibly hard for new players or make it a challenge for if you make it easy for new players, the really good players are going to be playing all day. If you make it hard for the really good players, the new players are going to never play it again. So that would solve that problem. You could sell that table and it would appeal to more audiences, but I don't know that they would ever do that. It was just an idea.
Yeah.
So.
No, it's feasible. There was something else I was doing that and I forgot, but yeah, it's like I say, to each his own on it. There are some people that are out there that I just don't get. They just got to be good because it's still. I know. I watched the movie about how the guy that convinced the leadership in Chicago or whatever to say that it's not a game of. There is some skill needed to it. But, I don't care how good you are. With the physics of that game, that ball's going to drain.
Yeah.
I mean, you can pay attention, you can concentrate. But then you take a look at a guy like Ed. How many of us really read the rule set? I mean, the guy here, right? Digital Victory. He reads the rule sets. He's even given instructional videos on them. I get a new table. Start playing.
Yeah. I generally learn from playing. I'm a learn experience to learn it. But yeah, I guess one of the complaints with the Firefighter Urban is the ease of getting the ball save, especially in multi-ball, because there's so many ramps that will return the ball to one of the in lanes. And if you flip the flippers, you can light all those in lanes, and then you'll keep your ball saves going just by whapping the ball and seeing if, make sure it goes down the right, the right light is lit. So I get that to a degree. You don't want to make I think the developers should think about stuff like what's a hack that people can figure out, or an exploit. Oh shoot, yeah, in multi-ball, they'll get ball saves forever if they just don't even care where they're hitting it. Just keep the balls live, and if you see one coming down the rail, make sure that light's not lit, and it'll light it, and then you'll get your ball saves again by lighting all the in-lane lights. But you don't want to have exploits, but you got it.
I remembered what I was going to ask.
Okay.
It's kind of on topic, but not. And that is, I started to watch this little bit of this show that At Games puts out on YouTube. And they talk about season 1 of this season, blah, 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 and leaderboards and stuff. I just haven't quite figured it out yet. And they talk about who had the biggest drop in ranking, who had the highest jump up in ranking. But it seems like they're basically a lot of the same people. And I've thought I'd like to get involved in that, but that goes back to something else similar to what we're talking about is if I've never got a chance even remotely get up there on the leaderboards, then what do I care?
Yeah.
I mean, there's got to be I've even thought about that in our tournaments, and don't get me wrong, I appreciate Polo and Jabba and everybody. I mean, they're good players, and I like it. I don't think of how to say this correctly. When the same, it's kind of fun, I guess, when I say, like, who is it that has this family come in? Is that Intellivision Gamer?
Yep. Yeah, Casey.
Now, see, I enjoy that. I enjoy that because I get to see these young kids and their wives and family members jumping in. And it doesn't matter they're on top, but they're starting to move up the ladder a little bit. So, I made that clear as mud. But I guess what I'm saying is I was watching At Games' little show, and I thought, it's just virtually impossible to even get your name on that board.
Yeah.
Whereas here, I guess what I was meaning about Java and Polo with you guys, I want you to play your best you can and get up there at the top, but it's nice that we've got a well-rounded enough group that we can see some movement. Let's take it. Derek. I'll pick on Derek for a minute. Derek, you'll see him at the top of the leaderboard one week, then you'll see that's good. I mean, I've done it. You've done it. We've seen good weeks, bad weeks for us. And look at Poe. He just never has a good week at all.
I am listening, but I was also looking for something because it was relevant to what you're talking about. And I finally found it, which I had no idea of until I got a notification. When people mention you in Discord, you'll get a notification.
Right.
Let me put this up here. Let me make this bigger.
Yeah, the biggest improvements, that's something they talk about. The biggest improvements, biggest fails.
Look at number 3 on the left-hand column.
Oh, my.
Biggest improvements from season 3, week 1 to week 13. Number 3.
Off-grid arcade.
Right there. I was ranked 3,098th in week 1, and by week 13 I was ranked 597th.
Well, if you remember right, 3,000 people dropped out in those 13.
Probably.
I'm just kidding, everybody.
It's much better than being in the drop down thing. But here's the thing with this, and that's awesome, and I really appreciate it, and I thanked Troy for posting it so I could find. I wouldn't have known, because you can't just stumble across what ranking you are if you're outside of that top 100. It's if you don't have a big move, you can't find. Or at least if there is, I don't know. And I'm still outside the top 500. And what I did is for a short time, and I might start playing it again because I didn't know I got that high. I would just look every week. They do their show. It's actually At Games does their show while we're on. It's at the same time as our show. It's just a little 5-minute show. They got their little AI guy and girl that hosts the show and whatever. But they will mention what the next tables are going to be. And then usually what I would do is just Friday or Saturday evening, I would look at and you can look it up on your phone too, go to the At Game stuff and see what the 3 tables are. And if I had any of them, I'd play them. I did kind of the one and done thing. I'd play a game, exit out, and it would submit my score. If I had all 3 tables, I'd play all 3 tables one time. And apparently I went from 3,098th place to 597 just by playing whatever tables I happen to own. Just one time.
This is good information for me, and I'm glad we're putting this out because this was my question. And I'm not, but I mean, maybe I should do more research on my own. But I wish every time they do one of those, they explain to the newbies, like, so I'm going to ask this question. I think I know the answer on what you said, but so you don't have to register to be in this tournament or to be in this season. You just play the games, and everybody that plays that week, their score goes into this tournament thing, and then they keep track of who's improved, who's got worse. So there's no signing up for it, right? Just G. Parker gets on Thursday after they get their thing, I watch their show, see what the tables are and play.
Right.
Right?
Because in theory you can play it accidentally, because you could just be saying, I just feel like playing that table and not even know that it was part of the tournament. If you have it and you play it, you're entered. But you do got to make sure you exit out of the table. Don't just shut off the machine without exiting out of the table.
So I've noticed that you've got to let it load your score.
Yeah, and if you are trying to play in the tournament, you'll see it when you go out. It'll say it's posting your high score or whatever. It'll also say in there, your score has been posted to the tournament. So there is a thing, but most times I don't even look at that. I just go out and say, okay, it's posting my score.
It doesn't ask you to do anything. It just tells you.
It just tells you that it's done. Let me see. Mike sent me a message privately. The chat from my channel isn't showing up on screen. Only the chat from yours.
Huh. I did get your. I'm gonna go over here to YouTube. Check your channel. I mean, I know.
Are you meaning in this screen over here beside us, Mike? Because I see where you did a couple of emojis on my channel. Is on there. I don't know. I didn't want to skip over this. Jabba put this up before I went and found that other. Simulation mode is way better than arcade mode. The ball physics are way better, but At Games uses the arcade mode because the hardware can't handle simulation mode.
Okay, that makes sense. I'm looking for your channel. Well, I know you're live, aren't you? I mean, you gotta be.
Yeah, what's going on?
I'll tell you what, even YouTube, what are they gonna? What are you gonna make this so hard? Yeah, here you are. We're live. You're live. Yep. Matter of fact, I'll bring your channel up. I got to remember to mute it.
My chat is flying, but none of it is making it onto the video. Huh. That is crazy.
Let's see. The last thing I see in the chat on watching you on YouTube is Jabba saying, maybe have 2 leagues for pinball. I'm looking at your channel and seeing the last chat.
Oh, yeah, that is weird. It is not even making it. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. there's a lot of chat that is no longer coming up to the stream. That's a weird glitch. Yeah, the last one I'm seeing was from quite a while ago. This one that Mike put up at 6:19. So that was like
they were working at one time.
Yeah. It stopped about 20 minutes ago. Let me see if I can do this. Maybe this will jumpstart it.
That's terrible. I think this is a conspiracy. Yep.
Yeah, I sent something from my channel. Yeah, I sent something from here, from inside Restream, and it didn't show up on my channel.
Huh.
Yeah, see, now I did the one that goes to both channels, and it popped up from yours on the screen, but not from mine.
Yeah. I'm just gonna type something in here. I'm just gonna type hello.
I wonder
Screwed it up.
Yeah, I don't know how to fix that either. If there would be a way to fix that.
Yeah, I just put hello, and I misspelled it, Derek. Now you can throw. Okay, famous but crispy just sent something. Mike's Gaming Gala sent something.
Yeah, dark underdog.
Yeah, the game is on. Not
Well,
showing
welcome, dark underdog. I don't know who else might have came in that I don't know. I'll leave my chat open on my phone so I can at least hopefully catch it and say hello, but I can't put it on the screen. It's not making it to Restream.
You know what's funny though? I just hit. I told you about how the windows were changed on mine, right? But I hit what I think is the chat button. Not the chat that you're showing in the window here, but on my screen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I hit, now we're getting somewhere here. I hit on the chat thing to show it off of the screen. And it's showing nothing. And then it popped up. You can wait for it to become responsive or exit the page. Pinball Fun with Greg and Bart is unresponsive. And it just went away, and now I see my test that I wrote, or somebody wrote, G. Parker's Arcade Room 3194 wrote test. I'm going to type something in chat on your place again. Okay, I just put hello.
Yeah. Yeah, nothing from my channel showing up in the chat on Restream. Interesting.
Well, I just sent test from your channel. Hello, Polo. I see him saying. Yeah, I sent hello.
Yeah, you must be in Greg's chat, I'm guessing, Jabba. Because I can see the chat coming from Greg's channel, but I can't see the chats coming from ours, from mine. That's okay. That's okay. Sorry about that, guys. I will do some research in between, because I want to check that before Sunday show with Poe also, and see if there's a way that I can jumpstart that and get it going. But let's see. Should we show the scores from this past week? We're getting later into the show here.
I've also got a 5-minute little video to show for this week's showcase. So yeah, let's go ahead and show the score.
All right. So Judge Dredd, which Derek made that VPX download, it looks like me, you, Derek, and Polo were the only ones that played it on VPX, even though it's free. Derek with 851 million. Look at that. Polo had 331. I had 255, and you had 240. Red Show, Jabba with the big 129. Crispy had 70. I had 68. Polo had 58. Derek had 46, and you had 20. And then Tomb Raider, Jabba again up top with 34 million. I had 28 million, I think, or 29. I can't read it so good. Polo had 11. Crispy had 9. Derek had 8. You had 2. And Megan got in on that one with just over 500,000. And if you look at the overall, Derek, the big winner with 266, edged me out. And then Polo had 259. You had 248.
I had a pretty good jump on there at first because I just jumped right in with the Derek's table, and but I knew it wasn't going to last for long. Okay, so this week we have. Wait a second. This week we've got. Did I screw something up? Okay, we got Tropical Remake.
Casey said Derek must have used a BD Retro Mods controller.
What do we got this week? We got Tropical Remake, right? We got Dolly Parton. We got Black Rose, right?
Yeah, Tropical Remake, Black Rose, and Dolly Parton.
Okay, everything is live now. Black Rose, Dolly Parton, and Tropical Remake. I've made her live.
Nice.
I scored. There you go.
Should we play your video?
Yeah. I'll let you handle that because I don't even know that.
Okay.
By the way, though, I just looked on iScored. This has to be one of the nicest looking scoreboards I've seen on this. Got a nice shot of Dolly, and Black Rose got that. Oh, yeah. Nice looking scoreboard up. Anyway, go ahead. You can show that video whenever you want. Just a 4.5 minute.
Okay. Did you have to preface it with anything?
No, it's just a little showcase on this week's tables. So,
all right, here we go.
Hit it, Shirley.
Okay, everybody, here we are at the Pinball Fun Show, and we're going to show you our challenges for this week. The first one is Black Rose Pinball FX. Let's take a quick look.
Come aboard, matey.
Black Rose. First table up for this week's competition. Okay, our next table up is Zachariah's Tropical 2019 Remake. I'm only starting out on this screen to show you it is on the Remake board there, and it is Tropical 2019. Let's take a quick look at this.
Spinner score.
Bikini for 10 million.
Don't move bonus times 2. It's time to start the modes.
There you go. Tropical
Spinner score.
Remake
Spinner score.
2019.
Is it too hot?
And for our last table for this week's challenge, how could we not do Dolly Parton? Let's just take a moment of silence for Dolly Parton, a wonderful entertainer, writer, actress, good Samaritan, did a lot of things for people. Just what a great lady, passed away just here in the last couple of days. So be sure to check out our Discord and check out Derek Pixeltorium's YouTube channel. And he did a video on this table, and he's also got it put up for the Retro Bat build. So be sure to check that out. Let's take a quick look at Dolly Parton's. And this is the one with the sound mod. It sounds great.
Stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition, and yawn, stretch and try to come to life. Jump in the shower and the blood starts pumping. I don't want to scream, the traffic starts jumping. Folks like me on the job from 9 to 5. Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living. Hey, passing by. It's on taking and forgiving. Just use your mind and they never give you credit. It's another crime you crazy if you let it.
There you go, everybody. Dolly Parton.
For service and devotion, you work
Like I say, what a wonderful human being. One of those rags to riches story. Grew up in a one-room cabin with a whole bunch of brothers, sisters, and a family. And I think I heard she was worth near $500 or $600 million when she passed. She was a very generous and loving person. And she will truly be missed. That's it, everybody. Let's get back to Pinball Fun with Greg and Bart.
All right. Nice.
You'd be expecting to get a copyright number.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. That's okay.
Well, you know, as long as it's not a strike, and the thing is the only thing that hurts is monetization, which I know you're monetized, but I don't know. Like I say, I put it up on Facebook, some gameplay of it. And Sony music companies said they wanted a piece of my 5 cents that I get off the video.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not monetized. I just have memberships. So.
Oh yeah, that's.
And I was hoping Gideon was here tonight. I was going to thank him. He bought a T-shirt this week. I'm going to thank him for that. But I was looking over here when I came back from the video. I was trying to see if there's a way to jumpstart the chat again. And of course, the very first thing, you go to Gemini and you ask it the question. It says, "Oh yeah, just click on this setting on the gear icon." You go in there, and that setting doesn't exist. So it's like,
See,
but I will do some other research.
I just had that pop up on my screen again. I'm running this on a solo screen in the browser. There's no other windows open. And it says page unresponsive. You can wait for it to become responsive or exit the page. And I'm just not. Well, I guess I'll hit wait because I think if I exit the page, I'll be out of here. Well, it went away on its own before I could get over there to click it. It went away. And now I see the last chat I see on my screen with inside of Restream is Jabba's Game Hut. Part of the chat came in at 1854. That was a minute ago.
Yeah. Whatever. So sorry guys about the chat not working right. I'll see if I can figure something out. But anyway, yeah. So Casey's asking, what is that table on? The Dolly Parton table. It's on VPX. Get that build that Derek made. You download it, put it on your laptop, put it on your PC, whatever. Single screen. It's all self-contained, And then every time Derek puts up one of these table packs, and Greg's put up a few, and you just download it and extract it right in there, and it just plays. It just works. Completely free.
Derek go to Derek's Pixeltorium channel. He did an instructional video on it. He also gives you the links, which are in Discord. If you don't have the Discord, I think that Dolly Parton, he did the table. He did a video on that table and put the link to the download on the video. So there's plenty of places to find it. And the build is not that big. You know, you can download it relatively quickly. I forget how many gig. It's a few gig, but it's not like massive. But it works great. And that version of Dolly Parton, well, it's the only version I got. Is what you saw me play was on Derek's build on my laptop.
Yeah, it works great. And like I said, the best part is free. The table's free. The download for the VPX is free. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So, Casey, while you're in the chat, are you going to go live tonight after we get off? Oh, he's going to clip that. After we finish our stream, are you going live? And yeah. And once again, Dark Underdog is in the chat. Mine. I didn't get to put his chats up but Dark Underdog made an awesome game. Did you put that back up, Greg?
Yeah, I did, just because I was curious.
Oh, okay. I pulled it down because the chat's not working. So I figured.
Well, I'll let you pull it down because I just. Oh, never mind. I found it.
Okay. But yeah, Dark Underdog made an awesome game, Fishy Crossing, for the Intellivision. And as of so far, it's free, completely free. I think he's talking about making a complete box, but the ROM is free. It's an awesome game. I played it. It's an underwater theme, and it's kind of Frogger-ish, where you're trying to get from the bottom to the top without hitting the things that are crossing, the sharks that are going across, and other underwater baddies that can kill you. But you want to get up to the surface. There's a ship that's going across the surface. You're a diver, and you're trying to get across all the hazards and get up to that ship so you can be rescued. And there's air bubbles that are floating. It's timed based on running out of air, and there's air bubbles so you can refresh your air. It's a cool little game, and you're welcome. He typed in the chat. Thanks for plugging his shout out on it. Yeah, I'll definitely give a shout out on the game, especially when it's free, and you deserve the thanks, Dark Underdog, because he made this game, and it's really awesome. So. That's cool. But but I don't know. I still didn't see Casey, and no, he's not going live today. Okay, so don't go look into Casey's channel after we end the show, because Casey will not be live. But all right, do we got anything else we needed to talk about? Because
I think the only thing is get in the tournaments, have some fun. I mean, it's all for fun. You don't win nothing, but you don't lose nothing either. It don't cost you anything. Black Rose can be played on FX. It can be played on Pinball Go on your phone, and it can also be played in VR. It can also be played on VPX. So you've got 4 ways to play that. Dolly's only available on VPX, and our other table, which is cool right now, is Tropical, which can be played on your @games pinball machine. It can be played on Zachariah on Steam. Well, you could play it. You could probably play it. I don't know if it's on your Switch or not.
Oh, I don't know. Well, ask what I'm drinking. Water. It's just water tonight. Dark Underdog said the game will be free, though I may add a small bonus to the digital deluxe version. Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool game. All right. Yeah. So get into these tournaments. They are not one and dones. Play them as much as you want. And if you have any issues with any of the scores, I'll bring this up. Jabba knows. Jabba accidentally posted a score that had one too many digits, so he went from 100 and something million to 1 billion. And he sent a message in Discord. You can send me a message direct or Greg. Let us know if you have a typo like that. We can fix it. It took me a minute to figure out how, but I got it done, and got his correct score. So don't worry about that. If you post an incorrect score and you're worried about it, just let us know. Or if you happen to post a score and you played somehow the wrong table, you're like, oh no, I played the deluxe instead of the remake, just delete that. We can delete it also. Just send us a message on Discord.
And it's easy to make a mistake, and so we, say, heck, stuff happens. I'll tell you what I almost did. I was on my phone. I was going to enter a score, and instead of clicking on the very top where the game was, I clicked on a person's name.
Oh.
And it was going to actually let me post on their name. So there is no protection for that. So if we're looking out for your fellow friends here in our group that are playing this, that's the only thing I advise you to be extra cautious.
And Poe said also, yes, it's the last few days to play the console challenges for the Hanging Out with Poe and Off Grid. Those will end this week. Those are one and dones, as evidenced by Crispy's Stampede score. Got to give it to Crispy. He got underneath my score, which was awesome. But he owns up to it, and he made a short video out of it because he played it so poorly. He made it into a short, but he's taking it. He's taking it, so that's good.
Last thing I want to say is don't forget to also check out our merch. This goes to support the channel. Bart's got some really good shirts and stuff up there, and you don't have to buy anything if you don't want to, but it is nice. We've talked about it, and anything that he gets off what he's planning on pouring back into the channel, like maybe getting restream, better quality restream or something, so hopefully we won't have these problems and not have to endure the costs ourselves. So.
Right, yeah. That's kind of the goal of my, my channel is monetized, but it'll benefit all of us if I'm going to put the money towards Restream. So if you want to support not only this show but the Hanging Out with Poe and Off Grid show, help us get to Restream, get rid of that logo that's above Craig's head up there, and have more options and stuff. Maybe better chat. That's what all that's going to go to. I appreciate all the members that I do have, and the people that donated memberships. Casey donated 10 memberships. They're fixing to roll off though, so pretty soon I'll be down to the actual number of people that became members. It's only 99 cents a month, but it will all go towards getting I think Casey does the same thing. I'm sure Mike's Gaming Gala does the same thing. He puts it back into the channel, so that's how I would put it back into the channel. And it'll benefit this show and the show on Sunday Night with Poe. So that's the goal. That's the reason I did the memberships, and of course, T-shirt money will all get rolled into that too. But everyone that sells T-shirts know you don't make a killing on T-shirts.
They're fun. I'm planning on starting to try. I've got the one I believe from Hanging Out with Poe and Off Grid. I think I've got one from our group. I just got Digital Victories and start going down the list. Matter of fact, in the Discord, there is a section that Derek put together for YouTubers merch. And if you're a YouTuber and you watch our channel, you can contact Derek and he can put yours in there as well. So we advertise for everybody.
And Poe says send him money and he'll be sure to put it towards the free version of Restream. Yeah. So, all right.
No, I think Post told me, at least my mom told me, Post said he would be spending the money on her buying it.
Oh, hey, now see, I can't put this stuff on screen because my chat's not coming through, but Dark Underdog, will it focus? Will it focus? You won't be able to see it.
Nah,
He did that big blue bar right there. Dark Underdog, $1.99 super chat.
Whoa! Super
So-
chat.
Thank you for that, Dark Underdog. I appreciate it. And he said, love you guys. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And all that goes right into it also. So,
Now, if you talked about making a mistake on the pinball scoring, you're putting in a super chat, you put in too many zeros. Tough luck.
we'll give you Poe's credit card number to get it back if you put too many zeros. So, yeah. So, yeah, I Poe said after the first month he don't even sell a t-shirt. Gideon bought one today. It was dark for me for a long time. A bunch of people bought some the first week, which I appreciate. Casey did. Mike's Gaming Gala, you bought one. Mike Gaming Road Warrior. But Gideon bought one today, and I got $1.83 is my cut. So that's one step closer to Restream.
And it sounds like it's not much, but it does help. And the fact that you get a cool shirt, because I got to admit, Digital Victories, I think, is a great looking shirt. I don't know. I'm guessing that Poe designed yours.
Yes, Poe made this. This is on Poe's channel. If you want to get one of the hanging out shirts, he made four different hanging out T-shirts, and then he has one that's the Mr. Poestyle. It's got old Poe on there wearing his Mayor of Titty City hat. So that's a great shirt. Mike's Gaming Gala has shirts, and if you want to get a Casey, the Intellivision Gamer shirt, the only place you can get one is on Mike's Gaming Gala's store. He's got the Pirate Casey that you can buy there.
I bought the Poe and off-grid one because I think you can't get close enough. I think I'm featured somewhere on that shirt. There's a lot of.
That's you right there. Got your.
Yeah. And who's that next to me? Isn't that
that's Mike, Gaming Road Warrior.
That's right. But I thought
and then over here you got Mike's Gaming Gala and Retro Bliss.
Bliss, that's the one I was saying. I knew I saw Bliss on Gaming.
And then these two chuckleheads up top. I don't know how they made the shirt. But yeah. Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern. So, yeah, I think I'll be buying me one of those Casey the Pirate shirts off of Mike's Gaming Gala since Casey doesn't get his own shirts. And I got to get me one of those Digital Victory shirts. Ed's been a good friend of the show for a long time. So, it's good to support people. And like you said, they're cool shirts. I like wearing them out. People will be like, hey, what's that all about? So, all right. I think that's about it, right? We
yeah, that's all I've got. I just got a message.
Did all our plugs, and thanks to everyone for watching. Sorry about the chat thing. I'm going to do some research. Hopefully, if there's something going on, maybe I can get it fixed before Sunday night or figure out how to fix it. So
it's hard to call them up and bitch when you're using a free service.
Right. And like I said, you go to Gemini or one of those chat things, and you're like, "How do I fix that?" Go to a setting. They send you to a setting that doesn't exist. So,
it's funny. One day, my wife got so aggravated with me because I was asking Gemini how to do something, and it kept telling. And finally, I just told it. I said, "Look, you ignorant son of a bitch. You I thought you were supposed to be smart, and you can't." And you know what it did? It says, "I apologize for any." Frustrations that I may have caused. Let me look into that further. So at least it was decent. So then she really laughed when I apologized to it. She says, "You cursed at a non-existent being, and then you apologized to it." She says, "You really look kind of stupid." And I thought, yeah,
Yeah, these chatbot AIs like Gemini and those the artificial they got down pat. The intelligence not so much. They just it's just probability of words strung together. It's not thinking at all for most of that stuff. It's just putting words together, and you'll ask it where settings are, and they'll say, "Oh, you're right. That isn't for the one you asked for. That's just a generic. Most TVs have these settings, so that's what I went with." It's like, well, I told you what my TV is. Why?
Yeah.
There's no intelligence.
I bought one of those AI PIs. You see them on Facebook a lot. You know what they are? It's $30 including the battery. I think you can get them for like $18 without the battery and just plug it into USB. But it's but you get on their site and it's a paid service, but they got some free to it. And what you can do is you upload text documents to it, and it loads your character up with that memory. So, like I loaded all I got the Chiefs schedule, Kansas City Chiefs, the Kansas City Royals schedule, and I turned it into a text file and uploaded it online. It went to it, and I can ask it when the next Chiefs game is or when the next Royals game is, and it knows that. So I started expanding on that. As a matter of fact, I took and typed up a description that Gemini gave me of your channel of Off Grid Arcade and sent it to it, and now I can say, "Who is Off Grid Arcade?" and it'll recite to me everything that Gemini said about. Oh, it's an arcade based on show, a YouTube channel based on homesteading and no use of completely off the grid playing pinball. Gave this great description, and I can and supposedly I can add tons of stuff to it, but it has a limit.
Yeah,
but it's kind of cool. If you give it the information, it'll regurgitate it back to you.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask, you put that stuff in about the Chiefs and the Royals. Will it work for good teams too? Or just those two?
I know. I'll tell you what, we have really been sucking lately for a time.
No, I'm just teasing. I'm just teasing.
Well, I'm being serious. We really do suck lately.
Yeah. I always go back and just a really quick story. Back when I was in the Navy, there were two guys, and it was before the whole Tom Brady thing, and the Patriots were constantly losing. And the other guy was, I forget what team he was a fan of, but they sucked really bad, and they were about coming to blows. And I said, dude, you guys are about coming to blows over two teams that are fighting for the first draft pick, not for the Super Bowl. And they're like, yeah, whatever. I said, yeah, look, I'm a Cardinals fan. And the Cardinals back then were no good either before Kurt Warner and Fitzgerald and all those guys got there. I said, we're lucky to win 2 or 3 games, and I ain't going to throw punches over my team isn't as shitty as your team. They all suck. Just drink a beer and move on.
My new favorite sport to watch, league to watch, is the WNBA. I mean, man, that's like hockey. I mean, they're knocking the shit out of each other, That's some good shit there.
Yeah. I did start watching that when Caitlin Clark came up. And I watched some of her games. And now we tend – I don't watch the games because we don't have TV, but, I'll watch the highlight reel of the Fever games. And I'll watch some of the when they're walking up and stuff like that for Sophie Cunningham because that girl wears some outfits. She's not too worried about showing too much skin, that girl. So I like her, but
they definitely make. I just can't help but to think that. I can't remember the guy's name that ran the wrestling world. Jerry McMahon. I keep thinking, just hand it over to McMahon. He'll straighten this shit out.
Yeah, it's a mess. Now I heard the commissioner or whatever just quit over all this controversy about the trans thing and keeping men out and all that. I don't know, but it's getting crazy. We'll leave that for a different show.
Yeah, I was just being a smart ass and we got into something here that I'm done.
Yeah.
That's it.
All right, so thanks for watching. Make sure you tune in. Pierre had said he's going to play some stuff tomorrow, I think. I didn't see what time. Sorry. 6 p.m. Eastern time, so 5 o'clock real time Central. Tomorrow, NES games, Pierre's channel. Link is in the description of Pierre's channel. Check him out. Check out Mike's Gaming Gala on Saturday. He'll be streaming in the afternoon. Crispy, I think he's going live on Friday night, tomorrow night also. And, of course, that leads you into Sunday with me and Poe. And then the whole rest of the week is just taken up with all the normal shows. So that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Get in these games. Get in these games. Every one of them you can play. If you have the app games, you can play Tropical for free. Black Rose, you can play it on your phone for free. Dolly Parton, you can play with Derek's build for free. There's no excuse for not playing at least 2 of these 3 tables. You can play them for free. So that's all I got. I'm going to click the outro.
That's it. Good to see you all.
Right. Thanks, guys.
Lights fade out.
Ooh, 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 ah.
Final ball, that digital drain. Lost inside the neon rain. High score flashes in my veins.
Level up my brain, rewind.